is how the Seminoles would live back in the 1800s. Not in teepees like you'd see out west, but log cabin structures like this one here. These ones here. Similar to the ones found up north. Now the Seminoles, they like to keep a fire burning somewhere in the middle of the village all year round. The reason for that was because their belief was that having a fire burning at all times was like having a piece of the sun nearby at all times. So it was always lit, except one day out of the year they would put it out, relight it, kind of like their New Year's when they did that. They really did not like to go by time schedules like we do today, you know, be up at 7, be at work by 9, what have you. Basically the Seminole belief there was scheduling your life was the same as scheduling your death. So when they wanted to wake up, they woke up. When they wanted to do the work, it was time to do the work. As long as the work got done, that was the most important thing. Personally, I feel the same way, but my boss doesn't. On the right-hand side up ahead, our Fort King waterway. The Fort King, replica of Fort King. The original Fort King was located about 2 miles south and west of where we are now. Originally built in 1827, it was named after Colonel William King, close personal friend of Andrew Jackson's at the time. Main reason for building that fort was one to help keep peace between the settlers and the Indians. It was also to help relocate the Indians. They were trying to relocate the Indians farther out west back then to what they called Indian Territory back then, now known as Oklahoma. Back in 1860, that's really when the tourism started in this area. Hubbard Hart was the one who got that ball rolling. Hubbard Hart loved the Silver River, wished more people could see it. He knew they took steamboats down the St. Johns River, figured, well, why not here as well? He acquired his first steamboat in 1860 and started chartering people all the way from Palatka to Silver Spring. Back then, it actually took them 2 nights and a day to do the entire trip. When the Civil War got heavy here, he had to stop chartering people up and down the river. They'd start bringing goods back and forth to Confederate soldiers. During this time, almost every one of his boats was either captured or destroyed. Only one of his boats completely survived this time, and coincidentally it was the same boat he had named the Silver Spring. That wasn't long after that, the first glass bottom boat was invented by a gentleman by the name of Hullum Jones. It was actually no more than a rowboat holding about 6 people, but was invented right here in Silver Springs in 1878. And that's when they consider the anniversary of Silver Springs to be, even though we're around in steamboat form for a few years before that. This year is our 131st anniversary. We are the oldest attraction in Florida. Heartline steamboats on the left. These are more like the cargo freighters that would come through at the time. Passenger boats were double-deckers, did have rooms for the people to try and sleep in.
Ayun na po kayo.
On the right hand side, this is our Seminole village. This is how the Seminoles would have lived back in the 1800s. Or not Seminoles, Florida Homestead. This is how the early Floridians would have lived back in the 1800s. Quite a few buildings up there, a few sheds, probably a few smokehouses. We also have a school and a church for you to see up there as well. And there's the main house coming into view here. Right down the middle of the main house, that was called a dog trot. That big opening right there, that was called a dog trot. A lot of cool breeze flowed through the middle of the house, helping keep it a little bit cooler. Back behind the house, not the building off to the left, I assume you know what that one's for already. But back behind the house, that was the kitchen. The kitchen was kept separate from the main house. The main reason for that was all the extra heat. A lot of heat builds up in the kitchen, and that would add to an already hot house. So it was separate for that reason. Also, in case of a fire, if a fire ever started in the kitchen, only the kitchen would have to be rebuilt, not the entire home. You might remember that if your spouse is bad cook. You turtle hanging around on the right.
How many fish you count? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Too many turtles.
Esa cabeça de homem que isso é a única lama.
Heartline steamboats again up ahead on the right hand side. At the time it was very popular to put paddle wheels on the side of the boat. They really couldn't do that on the Ocala River, just too many things to get caught up on. So they put the paddles on the rear like you see here. They had to go up and down the Ocala River to get here. In Native American, Ocala means crooked water. Some parts of the river were so windy they had to come to complete stop, get out with pools and push themselves along just to get all the way around the bend. Silver Springs, Ocala and Gulf Railroad up on the left-hand side. The original railroad was located about where our gift shops are today, and that was built in 1878, the same year as the last bottom boat. It was a rather short railroad, only ran from Ocala to Silver Springs, only about 5 miles long. Wood duck box on the right hand side.
So many.
They say wood ducks like building nests in this box, in boxes like this one here on the right. To be honest with you, I've been working here for about 18 years now, and I've never seen a wood duck in one yet, but that's what they tell me. See turtles over here on the right, and is that a gator hanging out on the right too? You never know.
So many.
Calling up on the
How many fish
shore.
you count?
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Of course, you make sure you catch your Lost River Voyage ride. They'll tell you a lot more about the natural wildlife than we do here.
Maybe.
Is this part of the Silver River?
No, this is a Fort King waterway, and it is connected to it, but it's not really considered part. It's separate because it was pretty much dug out back in the 70s just for the old Jungle Cruise ride. It was here, but it wasn't as big as it is now. It wasn't big enough for a boat to come through.
Yeah.
You can't bring a fishing boat back in here then.
No, you still can't. Yeah, the same rules still apply for this part of the river, though, even though it is considered separate. You're not even allowed to bring a boat back here because it is man-made. We actually do control this part of the river.
Wow, tiger. Lost.